Morning, guys. William here with Patriot Containers. Today's Tuesday the 9th. My YouTube channel, I think I started my YouTube channel like 9 years ago. And I used to have customers that would send me pictures of their containers or videos of their containers. And I used to put the pictures on my website. Like so many, if you ever go to patriotcontainers.com, I have so many pictures on my website of actual containers that I have delivered that I don't need to put any on there anymore. It's useless to put more pictures. There's so many pictures on there. So when customers send me pictures of the containers that I delivered, they sit on my phone and I might use them for marketing pictures. But back in the day, people used to send me videos and I didn't know what to do with them. And then one day it clicked in my head, hey, I should put these on YouTube. So in the beginning, starting 9 years ago, I used to put my YouTube channel was dedicated to just hosting delivery videos so future customers can go to my YouTube channel and see the actual containers that I have delivered. This industry that I've been in for 13 years has gotten worse and worse and worse and worse for customers that are looking for containers. I started Patriot Containers because I hated what the bad companies are doing to you guys as customers. My motto is pretty simple. Tell people the truth, deliver on the right day, and show up with the right product that the customer ordered. If a customer wants a crappy container, they're either going to buy a good one from me or they're not going to buy one from me at all. People that buy junky containers complain all the time. So Patriot Containers in 11 years has 4 complaints and all 4 people never bought a container from me. 3 of the complaints are from people that if you ever read them, you'll read that they never bought a container from me. They were just mean and nasty people and I was mean and nasty back to them on the phone. And the 4th complaint that I recently got is from somebody that I never sold a container to. They're just probably affiliated somehow, some way with one of these companies that I'm exposing. My YouTube channel has changed into educational information about containers, but mostly my YouTube channel has changed into exposing with how these companies are getting away with what I call criminal sales, highway robbery, and bringing just light to this situation of what's going on. And again, I've said this in many videos. I wish I made these videos 10 or 5 years ago, but I started doing them 4 months ago. This video is what is a bad cargo container company? How do they operate? If you're a customer, I don't know why you would want to order something and then be unhappy. I think a lot of customers out there don't know what they're asking for. They think they know everything, and they will be unhappy if they don't want help. Some people just, if you watch my videos, I'm not a fan of wind and watertight. I think wind and watertight sucks, and I think if you order it, you're going to complain. But some people call me and go, no, I just want wind and watertight. What's your cheapest price? I want my customers to be happy, and I want my customers to be delivered on the right day. And I want to provide a real service. But what is a bad cargo container company? How do they operate? So my definition of a bad company is companies that have this little tiny link on the bottom of their website called terms and conditions. I read all the complaints on these bad companies. I study them. If you order something and it's not delivered and you cancel your order and they charge you money for canceling your order, I think that's bad. I think that you have every right to cancel your order, and they should just say, okay, we're sorry, here's a full refund, and call it a day. These companies that are ripping you guys off, they make a lot of money. They really do. I don't know why I know why. They've paid the salesperson some money to sell you something, but you canceled at a later time. But they didn't do anything at all to deserve money, and they charged you money for canceling your order. Most companies, when you order something online and it wasn't delivered, you can cancel and get a full refund. But now these cargo container companies, which I call shitbags, crappy companies, bad companies, they're charging you money for something that they haven't even done yet. They have, in my eyes, they have no right to charge you money for canceling your order. If a customer called me, like I have deliveries today, if they wanted to cancel today before my driver picked up, I wouldn't have a problem with just saying, okay, that sucks, why? I would be curious why, but I would give them a full refund. I've done that actually in the past, and customers will call me back a month later and place the order. If I was to charge them a cancellation fee, they would not be calling me back. Another definition of what a bad company is companies that are preying on people and not educating their customers of what they're buying. They're not being transparent. They're not being descriptive. They're being deceptive, and lack of information or overselling with lies and false warranties and all this hoopla to make it sound like you're protected. I think the definition of a bad company is a company where they do offer you a new one, but they only offer one used, and their one used is not a good container. They're saying, hey, if you want a good container, you have to buy this new one, which means their used one is not good because they're going to purchase you a bad container. Now back to the wind and watertight thing. I hate that term, and it's the most abused term in the industry. If you go to my YouTube channels, I have a whole video, which I think is the most educational video I've ever made, about what wind and watertight really is, and how if you order something based off of a description of it doesn't leak, it doesn't describe the container itself. I know wind and watertight containers are lower class containers because I've been selling containers for 13 years. Good containers are not called wind and watertight. So if you order a wind and watertight container, in your eyes or your brain, you're going to get a container that the door is shut, it seals up, and there's no holes. Well, the definition of a bad company is a container company that has sold you wind and watertight, but they blatantly delivered you a container with holes. That's a bad company. Now, if you reject that container, here's another one. They're going to charge you a restocking fee. What did you do wrong? Nothing. You didn't do anything wrong. You ordered wind and watertight, and they delivered you a container with holes. So it might get there, and you see the holes, and you go, well, I don't want this. And they go, okay, well, if you reject our container, we're going to charge you a restocking fee and a cancellation fee. So how does the bad company get you to keep the container? Well, they tell you to keep the container and call the warranty department. When you call the warranty department, they're going to send you, and trust me, I don't even have to say trust me. Go read the terms and conditions on their websites. It says it for me. They're going to send you a tube of JB Weld or a fiberglass patch kit. And it's in all their complaints too. Everything that I'm saying is based off of complaints and facts that are on these companies all these complaints on Yelp and and pictures are there too of what they've delivered to their customers. So what's another one? Companies that take, when you're dealing with a sales rep, when you have a company that has a 95% employees are all sales, that 5% of employees can't keep up with the 95% of sales, so they run a crappy operation of purchasing, scheduling, communication. So sales reps, when you call these sales reps, and how do I say this? I'm brutally honest. I'm rough around the edges. Some people love it and some people hate it. But I don't lie to my customers, and I'm not a customer service rep that kisses butt to take orders. I'm here to do a job and do the job right. And if you don't trust me, I feel bad for you, because I know what 90% of these companies are going to do to you guys. And Patriot Containers does not do this to you guys. I offer a real service in this industry that's going to rip you off. This isn't a sales pitch. This is a video about bad container companies. Salespeople do not have the direct access to drivers, so they can't tell you the real day your container is going to arrive. They can tell you a common one-liner of, oh, all of our orders for the month of September are going to have next day delivery. That's a lie in itself. You can't sell a ton of containers and have every single one of them delivered the next day. If you get a container in the next day in less than 24 hours, things have to happen so perfectly to make that possible. And it's 1 in 100 of a next day delivery. Most drivers that us container companies call, they have a schedule and they're most likely booked up tomorrow. And we have got to call them to figure out with what day your container is actually going to arrive. These salespeople don't do that. They only have one-liners to tell you. So as a sales tool, they can say, oh, for the month of September, free next day delivery for everybody. It's not, you're not going to get a container the next day. 99% of the time, you will not get a container the next day, but they got your order, and then they have a cancellation fee. So when they call the next day, go, oh, sorry, something happened. If you cancel because you were lied to, they're going to charge you a cancellation fee. So they got you hook, line, and sinker to where once they get your sale, you're kind of stuck and you got to wait. Now, now some sales reps say, well, we deliver in 7 to 10 days. That's actually accurate. If you call me and while you're on the phone with me, I can call my driver. Most likely, and I'm going to say this, 80% of the, 80, maybe 70% of the time, if I call any of my drivers across the United States, they will deliver your container within, let's say 5 to 10 days. But when you order from me, I actually have it scheduled on the calendar with my driver, and my driver has it on his calendar as well, that he's going to be picking up your container and delivering it that day. But salespeople, they don't do this. They tell you 7 to 10 days. But if you ever look at their invoice or their terms and conditions, it says estimated delivery 20 business days. Well, 20 business days is a month. So they can tell you one thing, but their paperwork and everything says it's going to take a month to get there. I've read so many complaints for 13 years of what these companies really do. And trust me, I've actually worked for companies that I'm exposing and sat in cubicles and watched the shit show operation that these bad companies do. That's why I know with what I'm talking about, is because I've worked for companies like this. And I started Patriot Containers to do the opposite and actually do the right thing. All bad companies are the same, no matter who you call. It doesn't matter with what company name it is. If they're a bad company, they're always guilty of the same thing: selling crappy containers, taking too long to deliver, lying out their teeth, and then not being accountable for anything that they've done wrong. So when these companies take 1 to 3 months to deliver your container, Doesn't matter. They're going to charge you a cancellation fee. If they bring you out a bad container that you did not order, you expected something better because it was sold to you with lies and deception, they don't care because they're going to charge you a restocking fee if you reject the container. A bad company, and nobody knows this, purchases fake 5-star reviews to cover up all their complaints so their score doesn't go down. A bad company, when there's an issue or problem, they desert you as a customer and run away or transfer you to voicemails, or they don't take your calls and you must email them, and then they take 48 hours to reply while you're stuck and feeling deserted. Those are not good companies. The newest complaint, not complaint, this is the newest trick, because the warranty companies, we offer a warranty, and again, I say this in a lot of videos. I remember 11 years ago when I started Patriot Containers, nobody had warranties. It was whoever could sell the best, whether they were a good company or a bad company, got the sale. And that's fair. I remember back in the day thinking, you know what? Because you could be a hater or you can be accountable. And I remember not making orders and going, you know what? That salesperson was a better salesperson of whoever made the sale. But now it's not the better salesperson, it's who can lie to you the most. And trust me, I talk to customers every single day that I can tell they don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear the lies. And I'm amazed like that human nature has changed to where people want to be lied to now in order to take their money. I can't do that. Patriot Containers does not do that to customers. I kind of look at it like this. I don't sell to dumb people, and I only sell to smart people that actually want the help and actually want to listen and actually want to understand with what they're buying. People that don't want to listen, I can't help them. I literally can't. They're doomed, and they will buy from a bad company. That's what this video is about. So back to the warranties, you got companies now that are offering these lifetime warranties. Well, their warranty is JB Weller, a fiberglass patch kit, and then on their YouTube channel, they actually teach you how to repair their broken containers that they will deliver you. And it's funny, it's like the YouTube videos that they made, it's not even a permanent fix. It's a temporary fix to make you feel, I think it's to teach you how to put on this stupid temporary fix that's not going to permanently fix. It will leak again. But I think that video is basically so when they deliver you a container with holes and then you get this patch kit in the mail, they can also send you this YouTube video on how to apply it, which you're already pissed off because they sent you a container with holes. Now you gotta put the stupid patch kit on it. Most containers with holes look like shit. They literally do. It's insanely rare to buy an upper class container that has a hole, but if it did have a tiny pinhole, that's an easy fix. Easy fix, but it doesn't happen a lot. So now back to the bad companies. The newest, like, kind of latest one-liner lie that you guys are being told is if you don't like your container in 30, 60, 90 days, you can get a full refund. On their terms and conditions on their website, and I've read it, I have it printed out, it says they're going to charge you the delivery twice because they brought it out the first time and then they got to come get it, or they will not come get it and you must bring it back at your own expense to a designated place where they tell you. They're going to make that return impossible for you to do. They will. They don't want it. They don't want to take that container back. It's a big hassle for them. But most likely, your full refund is minus the delivery twice, minus a restocking fee and minus a cancellation fee. So if you paid $22,000 for your container, if you do the math, you're probably going to get like $300 or $400 back, and you're going to be pissed off. I would be. That's the definition of these bad companies. These bad companies, they hate the videos that I'm providing. They don't want you to see this. I know exactly how they operate. I know exactly with what they purchase. I know exactly with what they're saying to you, and I've read all their terms and conditions, which are designed to screw you guys over. These companies that are ripping you guys off do not believe anything that they're saying. That's why they have terms and conditions. They don't have to tell you the terms and conditions while they're selling you something. It just has to be there on their website. So if you use a credit card and you file a chargeback, or let's say a horrible container arrives 3 months later and you don't like it and you're like going, hey, get this thing off my property, and you paid by credit card, which is very smart, by the way. I think it's the stupidest thing to do is pay somebody by Zelle or wire transfer or check or bank deposit. You have no way to get your money back if you pay by that. The only way you can get money back is by paying by credit card. And some companies charge 3%, some companies do not. I've never charged 3% in 11 years, not once. That being said, you got companies now they say they do full payment on delivery. Well, I've read complaints that if you don't pay for that container and you reject it, that they're going to send you to collections. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know if that's a verbal threat to scare you, but these companies that I'm exposing, so back to my YouTube channel, it used to be a hosting service for delivery videos and pictures. It still is. When customers send me videos, I upload them and I enjoy it. I don't get paid by YouTube for doing this. But now my YouTube channel is solely exposing this industry with what it is. And there is no other companies out there giving you this information. They don't want you to see this information. 90% of cargo companies are guilty of everything that I'm saying. So ask yourself this: what type of customer are you? If you're the customer that says, hey, I don't care about my 5,000 or 8,000 pound container, I'm going, and I don't want to learn, and I just want a cheap container, Patriot Containers is not for you. That's why I don't have any complaints. If you're the customer that says, hey, I don't want to buy a bad container, and I do want to understand, and I do want a real service provided, Patriot Containers is for you. That's what I do. I sell good containers, new and used. And when I say good, I'm talking about visually good containers, and then also new containers. I show up on the right day that you actually expect me to be there. I know how to run a business correctly, and I know how to run it with honesty too. And I get repeat business all the time. Every person that I sell to is 95% of people that I sell to are actually happy customers that are not only happy, but I send them a link to write a review and then they don't do it. So I don't purchase fake 5-star reviews. I never have and I never will. I would be ashamed of myself if I did that. When you have a company, see, I've been around for 11 years building Patriot Containers, and I only have 107 reviews on Google. On BBB, I have like 7, but I got accredited with BBB just because I kind of had to, I guess. But yeah, I have 0 complaints on BBB. So Yeah, ask yourself with what type of customer you are. If you actually, I just don't understand with why somebody would want to be unhappy. I have a friend, I'm going to keep this video hopefully short. I have a friend that orders stuff online constantly. And even though the company did everything right, he still calls and complains to get free money. That's horrible. But these these bad companies is what I stand against, and I'm exposing them. So that's what my YouTube channel has turned into. Is I'm studying cargo container companies, reading their complaints, reading their tricks that are evolving, and exposing them. And I like it. It's fun. I mainly do it. The real reason I do it is because I actually care. I care about this industry. I care about customers. And I don't think people should be lied to. I think you should be able to order something and have it handled correctly. And if the person you ordered, the company you ordered from did anything wrong, they should be accountable. Well, that's not the way this industry is anymore. It's actually really, really bad. Really bad. And these bigger companies that are getting away with literally criminal sales and highway robbery, they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm totally sick of it. I am sick and tired of these crappy companies ripping people off every single day and smiling about it. I think it's disgusting. I think if you're one of these companies and you're watching my videos, which I know you guys are, you want to see my videos every single day. You guys are horrible, horrible people. And if you're religious, you should check your religion, because your religion probably stands against what you guys are doing to American citizens of ripping people off and getting money out of not doing the right thing for your customers. You guys are actually lower class leeches and scumbags. And you make me sick. You really, really do. You are crappy companies. And you know it too, because you have that thing called terms and conditions on your website, which protects you from every lie that you tell your customers, and you don't have to be accountable for anything. And you purchase crap. You don't even purchase good containers. And you sell it incorrectly. Your salespeople are rookies. Your marketing people, I don't know who you're marketing to. Are you marketing to children with your TikTok crappy videos? Like that's you might want to look at your target market. Most of my videos are watched by men that are anywhere from like 35 to 55 years old. You're not marketing to 12-year-old kids with TikTok videos. Unless you're looking for subscribers on YouTube, which is, I don't know, if you want to be a YouTuber or do you want to be a cargo container company. But watching with what these bad companies are doing, there is no way. I know exactly. I would be petrified to place an order with these companies. They do not even believe in anything that they're saying. That's why they have terms and conditions. So anyways, guys, that's my definition of what bad companies are. There's not a lot of good companies in this industry. I'm one of the good companies. This industry was much better before COVID. After COVID really screwed up things. But then some companies popped up that were before COVID, a little bit before COVID and after COVID. And these companies are horrible with what they're doing to their customers. It's highway robbery. It really is. It's criminal sales. An attorney general in their state should look into them and investigate them. So anyways, guys, that's my definition of what a bad company is. I'll be making videos every single day about this industry, topics to talk about, educational information, awareness, exposing, and keep it going. You know, I like some of the videos that I'm providing. I think it's a bit, customers that are watching my videos, they will eventually call and place an order because I'm genuine. I know with what I'm talking about. I know with what these companies are getting away with. So anyways, guys, I can ramble on forever. Tuesday the 9th. Have a good one. Bye.